Oh, then it's lifted off and now I can just drive into him. My foot is actually stuck. So there's a few videos and reviews about the e208 out there now. But maybe my angle brings a slightly different focus to it. I'm not a journalist that's just borrowed this car for an afternoon. I've had it for a few weeks, I've been driving it, I've been using it, and I've got a little bit more experience with it than probably most. Now, this isn't going to be an enthusiastic video because I'm selling this e208. I've waited, it's already sold. This is going to be just an enthusiastic video about the e208. So this particular example is a GT, which is quite a high specification example and gives you some nice extras, spoilers, wheels, trims, and some really nice interior details. Recommended retail on this car new is a bit over £30,000, although there are some good offers. But now, as a year-old car, or nearly a year old, this retails in the mid-20s, so I think now even greater value, still very much feels like a new car, has a great range and is really nice to drive. So I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are on those in a moment. Okay, I'm going to show you the bit more about the looks and the features and function in a minute, but I first saw the e208 at the Fully Charged Live event in Silverstone. It was a great event, and they had a pre-production car there, and instantly I just thought it looked brilliant. Maybe a little bit biased. When I was a young lad, one of my first cars was a Peugeot 205, and I've always liked a Peugeot hatchback. It just caught my interest straight away. It's got some really nice details, some nice features. Personally, I love the look of it. So let's show you around the car, a few more details about it, and what I like, and if I can find anything that I don't like, I'm going to tell you about that too. So amongst other things, the GT gives you a nice spoiler at the back. Also gives you these trims around the arches, and this one's on 17-inch wheels. This here says Peugeot full LED lighting, and they are very good lights. A self-level, even when you're accelerating and braking, the lights are always leveling themselves. I think they're great. You've got these big fangs that come down as daytime running lights, which maybe it's a bit extreme, but it makes it look a bit mean. I like the look of this front grille. It has little white bits on the front here. Looks really nice when you stand back. And this one has a radar in the front here. So does it have city braking? Will it automatically brake if I drive into somebody? I'm going to try that in a minute. Some cars have a little space under the front here, but there's nothing. In fact, it looks just like a normal engine. There's no storage in here like you do get on some electric cars. It all looks like any other 208 really, but there is the E badge here, and instead of a fuel flap, you have a charge port flap. The outside's nice, but when you get inside, just look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it. Oh, just look at that. Just look at this 3D display. Look at it. This display's amazing. Just look at it. You can choose what you want. It's 3D. Just look at it. Would you look at it? Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this. Heated seats. Look at it. Look at this. Lovely. Would you look at this? Look at this. So as you can see, I like it. It's just a really nice place to be. It feels sporty. The steering wheel's quite small, and it's got this sort of square top and bottom on this one. And it's got a good spec, Apple CarPlay. This 3D cockpit works well. The wireless phone charger is easy to use and convenient. Heated seats in this one. It's just trimmed. It feels really nice. It's kind of dark, but there's some nice ambient lighting. There's no glass or panoramic roof in this one, so it is quite dark, but it's just a special place to be. In terms of the seats, these seats are very supportive. I love them. I can get into a really good driving position. What I would say is that this steering wheel does kind of block this display, and a few people have said the same thing, so you do have to kind of adjust the steering wheel. I found out I had to have the steering wheel a bit lower than I normally would, so that I could see that display more clearly. I don't think it's an issue. I got used to that. It just felt different to what I'm used to with other cars, but it's just a nice place to be. It's comfortable for me. I guess as I'm 6 foot tall, I'm not finding the visibility here brilliant. I'm right next to this pillar here, so I think if I can pick it apart, I would say that the steering wheel does block the display potentially, and my head feels like I'm quite close to this B pillar with my seating position. So if you look at one of these, I guess just make sure that you feel like you can sit in it, see well and be comfortable. So I've got the driving seat in my position. It isn't a big car, but let's see just how small it is in the back here. And can't even get my foot down. There we go. So, yeah, very restricting. There's not a lot of room in here. You could give me a lift home from the pub, but I wouldn't want to sit in here for a long time. It's a small car, you're not going to expect a lot, but with somebody 6 foot in front, it's not very good in the back. My foot is actually stuck. There we go, I'm out. So I think the boot space is as good as you'd expect for a car this size. My colleague Serge fits in nicely, hasn't even messed his hair up. You can also fold the seats, split 60-40. What's it like to drive? I really like it. Everyone else here that's driven it also likes it. Nice balance between ride, good handling. It's got quite a soft pedal, but you can put it into sport mode, gives you a bit more response. I'm more used to a Tesla, so it's obviously hard to compare to that, but it goes along the road really well. It's a 0 to 60 in about 8 seconds, and certainly all you need for going around town, and actually it's pretty comfortable on the motorway. In terms of range, well, I would say I could get this car about 150 miles on a steady journey. More if you really had to. Lots of short journeys, obviously you're going to get a bit less. So to summarise for range, from my experience driving this car, it's between about 110, 120 up to about 160, 170 miles, depending on how it's driven. What I would say is it doesn't seem to lose what we call vampire drain, where it loses charge being parked and not being used. It seems to hold that. It certainly doesn't show on the display. So a very pleasant car to drive. Certainly everything you need to whiz around in the city. And I actually found myself going along some country lanes and really enjoying this car. It's much lighter than the Teslas, of course. So although I'm used to a fast Tesla on a country road, this was just a blast like the old Peugeot hatchbacks used to be. I think a little nod to my past of when I used to love my Peugeot 205s. So the 208 comes with a Type 2 to Type 2 cable only, no 3-pin. But we don't tend to use 3 pins anyway. You normally get a car charger at the front of your house. So you plug into here, but it also has a CCS rapid charge connection. Now the car's quoted as being able to take 100 kilowatts. I rapid charged it a couple of times, and what I found was it got close to that if you were really low charge and warm initially, but actually it would charge more to about 70 kilowatts was about the fastest that it could sustain, and then it gradually keeps tapering off. So it's not bad. It'd be nice if it could sustain a faster charge, but it's actually better than most of the other smaller electric cars. And with the right charger, 30-40 minutes does see you replenish most of the battery, certainly for another couple of hours driving. This one has the tinted windows at the rear. Now I did say it's quite dark in the car, very nice, but quite dark. In the back, it's quite cramped and it is quite dark, and I don't think it's a place you'd want to spend too much time. Okay, so this car has a radar in the front bumper. Does that mean it has automatic emergency braking if a pedestrian stands? Whoa! Yes, it has city emergency braking. Oh, then it's lifted off and now I can just drive into him. The skid marks on the floor now, look. It's quite good, isn't it? So, the Peugeot does not want to run over my friend Elon Musk. And a good thing too. So what do I think of this? Well, it's just a brilliant car. I really love it. Like I say, I'm not trying to sell this car to you. It's already sold. It is just a case of, I think it's one of the best electric hatchbacks out there at the moment. I think its only compromise really is rear seat space for adults. Children, fine, but not for adults. The details in the car, it's fun, it's got good technology, good equipment, Apple CarPlay, LED headlights. I think it ticks all the boxes, and I've really enjoyed having this car. So that's my roundup, that's my opinion of it. I think it's a really good example of where we're at today with these cars. I think the battery size is just right, so you can charge it once a week and do your daily commute. So even if you don't have charging at home, maybe you charge it whilst you're doing your grocery shopping at the weekend. I think it ticks all the boxes, and I'm a big, big fan. So that's my opinion. Peugeot e208, I love it. I hope the video is useful, a few pointers. There are plenty of other reviews out there, but hopefully my take is a slightly different take. And I would like to see if you subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, do give us any comments below. I'll try and answer any questions you have about the e208 or any other questions you have about electric cars. In the meantime, also follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We post lots of sort of daily storyboards of things we're doing and what we're up to, so you may also find that interesting. For now, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you on another one.